Big Country here, and I am on the Reptilian Disc Golf tester team. Their very first disc is known as the Scale, and it is a heavily modified Wizard. I just got this in the mail today. We're going to open it up and do some first impressions. Alright, here we go. Here's the Scale. It's got the same nose as a Wizard. Very minimal flashing. There's a decent sized bead. Very cool American flag stamp just for me. And we've got this little thumb track right here. This isn't quite like an Innova thumb track. It's more along the lines of the DGA Breaker. This is they're molded by Gateway, so this is their super soft plastic, so it's pretty nice and stiff. So we're going to go bang some putts and take it out to the course to compare it against similar discs, the Rhino, the Breaker, and the Wizard. So let's see how it goes. Here we are at the illustrious Big Country training compound. Got my backyard basket from Innova, and we're going to do our first putts with the Reptilian Disc Golf Scale. We're going to start off with this nice easy putt, and then we're going to move out, and we're going to do some different putts. The kind of noises you can always ignore. Drunken lovers stumbling to their floor. It's fun when the everyday becomes such a chore. The stairwell speaks of their arriving, creaking slowly up they spiral, held up by one another's neck. Mr. Christ himself, who never had such a church. They're opening up that side door again, and they're Hey, we're back testing out the Reptilian Disc Golf Scale. Just found out before I headed out to shoot this review that it now is PDJ approved. So you can use these RDG scales in any tournament. So today we're going to take it out to the course, the familiar Cumberland Green course here in Fountain, and we're going to test it out against its Papa, the Wizard from Gateway, as well as its symbolic cousins, the DGA Breaker and the Innova Rhyno. So let's go check it out. Alright, we moved on to hole 6. It's a more traditional putter shot. It's around 240 feet. It is behind that center tree there. So we're just going to throw it nice and flat and let the disc do the work. The Rhino showed a little more high-speed turn when I cranked on it, which made it hit these trees over here and left me way back here. The Scale also nicked a tree, but it fought through. Maybe because of this awesome fossil plastic, I don't know. It left me with a possible putt, a definite tester from around 42 feet.
Wizard showed quite a bit of high-speed turn and ended up way over here, possibly because of its added glide due to the scale. Leaves me with an uncomfortable putt, but something I could potentially make. And closest to the basket on this particular shot was the DGA Breaker that went through unscathed and landed right here for a gimme. We're going to try another backhand hole here. This one is actually under 200 feet. It's right there in front of me. It's going to require a little bit of shot shaping for me to run it, which it's hucking aces. Of course, I'm going to run the ace. Breaker went by far longer than the other putters. That's because it is a really fast putter. Left me over here in the woods. Not really much of a chance since I'm not a good straddle putter. The Wizard did what a wizard did. Went extremely straight. Ran it at the baskets. Just couldn't get it there. The Rhyno, surprisingly this time, stayed very straight and had very little fade. It might be the new blend of Innova DX plastic. I don't know, for all you Rhyno throwers out there, maybe you can chime in on the comments. And by far the closest, this one leaving me with maybe an 8-foot putt, was the scale. I was running the chains, I thought it was going in. It did a little whoopee in the air, and it dropped a little short due to its lack of glide. All right, here's another unusual hole unique to Cumberland Green. This one is only 138 feet. Naturally, I would go for a soft sidearm. We're not going to do that. We're going to go for the big hyzer spike around all these trees and see if we can can one in the chains. By far the most overstable of these discs was the scale. It ended up way over here. It got around the trees, but it's still quite short. Right next to it is the Wizard, which is the disc that the scale is based off of. Man. And the Rhyno and the Breaker were technically closer to the basket, or as close to each other to the basket, but the Rhyno gives me a better line. I can run straight at it and miss. Whereas the Breaker came in just a little too steep. All right, now we're here at hole 9. This one's a little longer. It's around 270 feet. It's a little bit of a blind shot. You have to keep it low and go around this tree, which is not something that putters are really good for. You want to give them height to give them distance if you're driving with a putter. So we'll see how this turns out. You might not be able to see where they land from here, so we'll make sure to go up and check them out afterwards. On this hole, the scale went just a little past the basket. Didn't really fade in as much as I thought it was going to, but I also brought it out pretty wide. The Breaker was closest to the scale. I really had to power this down because it's a very fast putter. The Wizard, well short. It's more of a traditional putter, so you got to keep it nice and high. This just wasn't the right hole for a Wizard. And on this hole, the Rhyno actually got closest. Perhaps it got a little help from a tree, which really scuffed up this DX plastic. And now we come to hole 11. It's 250 feet. It's off to the right and it's deep in a little grotto of trees. The easiest way to attack this pin position is with a thumber. Now normally I would thumber probably a Banshee here or maybe my MVP Motion. But we're gonna thumber some putters today and see how this goes. I think on this one, the scale's gonna definitely be the winner because it's pretty clearly more overstable than any of these other discs. Let's find out. The Wizard, our traditional putter, no good at the overhand. I wound up here, didn't even clear the trees. Set me up for a nice par though. You come over here, the Rhyno's the shortest. It did its job, it's pin high. This really isn't in my putting range. With a disc like this, obviously I'd use my KC AVR, which is my go-to putter. And I would have sunk it with an AVR. The breaker's over here, eased its way into the basket, almost got it. And clearly the winner, as predicted, is the Reptilian Disc Golf scale, which landed right here for a nice, easy gimme putt. You got the right height, it flipped up nicely. There you go. All right, we're gonna do one more hole, one more bonus ace run, see if we can hit something in there. All right. This hole is kind of straight ahead. It finishes just a little right. There's a lot of room to play with. So we're gonna try another sidearm. This hole sits at about 260 feet. So we'll see how it goes. In there.
And the winner is the scale.
While I'm not sold on the Reptilian Disc Golf scale as a putting putter, this is the perfect driving putter. In this great fossil plastic, it's nice and stiff like the best KC Pro plastic you've ever held. Couple that with the gateway rim and this thing just loves to catch chains. It's now PDGA approved and I can't say it strongly enough. If you want a great driving putter that's nice and overstable, will handle any wind, get the scale.